Duckers, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Decaf Decoy, where we're hanging out over here doing live streams again. And I'm glad that you guys are still sticking around. I think there's like 50 of us, which is pretty good for like a brand new channel. But I mean, yeah, we got off to a good start with the live streams on this channel, and then Decoy Voice kind of just started to fall behind, I think. I mean, still trying to get to 1 million subscribers over there. I know it's not that big of a deal, but I mean, just an imaginary goal we had. And then as soon as we made Decaf Decoy, things started to kind of crumble over here. So I mean, started to focus on that. But I mean, we should do more of these episodes because I feel like we can take on a lot more topics much more rapidly. It takes like less for me to actually put together a video and edit and add music and all that stuff. And then here we can just kind of have a conversation with you guys, kind of back and forth. Like I think somebody said, bro is booting up Fortnite right now. I mean, I wish. It's doing all these channels and then trying to get back on track. I think everybody in my sphere on the internet is having a bit of a lull as far as video views is going. So it's I'd like to play more video games, but honestly, it's not working out for me right now. Skeptic says, have you seen Decoy 1? The label is a duck. Yeah, because decoys are oftentimes affiliated with like the decoy duck sound for duck hunting or whatever. So like, I mean, Decoy 1, all that stuff, that's been around for much longer than I have been on the internet. I think, as a lot of you guys have figured out, I think a lot of my name is kind of derived from Decoy Octopus from Metal Gear Solid. I think I should probably replace my Shohei Ohtani figurine right here with a Solid Snake. I don't think they're going to make a Decoy Octopus toy. I haven't looked up much on the Buffalo School stuff. I know that Donut Operator and his crew kind of covered it, and I think that because they covered it online, it actually came to a close as far as them prosecuting people, if we're talking about the same thing. Every time you go to the liquor store, you see that bottle. I think I've even had family members take photos of it and send it to me, thinking it had something to do with me, and it really doesn't. It's just the name I had. I had another channel before this that I built around somebody else and had the word decoy in it, so we just kind of kept on going. Hunter says Biden is going to be gone by next month. Bet. I mean, we're going to get to that topic a little bit in the future in this video, in this live stream. But yeah, it almost seems like that was part of the plan. Not to get ahead of ourselves, I think that they were anticipating him going in his first presidency because they really wanted to shoehorn in a Kamala Harris president. But as we saw, she's one of the most unlikable figures in the public space ever. So she's never going to become president, just like a Hillary Clinton. They're just not likable people. And sad to say, I don't think it has anything to do with misogyny. It just has to do with they're terrible people, like inside and out. Yeah, oh, you'll be here for the topic. It'll be the second topic we do. What's my take on the tariffs going down? I think it's a good thing. I think that Trump never implemented the tariffs as a way to stop international trade. He just wanted them to lower the tariffs they have on us that the mainstream media almost refused to cover, saying, we've had unfair trade practices forever. Even Nancy Pelosi, I think in 1996, had talked about how them not being reciprocal. I forgot how she put it, but just the idea that all these countries have these absurd tariffs on American goods, and we never put tariffs back on them because we don't speak from a position of power, although we should. So the idea that he started putting these exorbitant tariffs and saying, hey, if you do reciprocal tariffs on us, he's going to just keep on increasing them to 80%, 100%, 240%. And finally, they realize they need American dollars more than we need their cheap products. We can last a little bit longer without Funko Pops and cheap electronics from Amazon. They need us. So yeah. Hunter says, if you're MAGA, it's kind of we. I think during the election, I got more into Donald Trump. I wasn't ever like the biggest Donald Trump person because I remember him in office being, I don't want to say not effective, but a lot of the things that Donald Trump campaigned on, he didn't follow through on. And by the time I was really doing this channel a lot, it was the end of his presidency, and when he had the opportunity to pardon a lot of people, to keep lobbyists out of DC, he went back on making sure lobbyists couldn't be DC. Like, I'm oversimplifying something. And then also he started pardoning like rappers and career criminals and no, Democrat career criminals. Like, it didn't seem to be the biggest thing, but I think as of last election, I went all in on it because, I mean, the alternative was a Kamala Harris presidency that, just sad to say, America would not have survived. Yeah, I never co-sign a movement that you don't control. Also, the idea that never join, like, if I said, oh, we're going to become the Decoy Boys and we're going to start doing things in the streets. Like, well, you never know if Decoy Voice all of a sudden bows out of that movement and then you get some psychopath that's now heading the organization that was started by Decoy Voice and now it becomes something different. It's like, no, that's why I feel like we don't really have a name behind us. I call us ducks or duckers because I think it's kind of funny, but the idea that you never know if all of a sudden me, myself, like some pharmaceutical agency comes to Decoy Voice and says, hey, Decoy, would you like $10 billion for to start parroting what we say? And it'd almost be like, you guys don't know if you could trust me. I'm just a guy online. So it's a thing of never, like, attach your name to somebody else that you just don't entirely trust. I feel like I've established a lot of trust with you guys, but I'd say I don't trust people online, so don't trust me as well, type of thing. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. An organization that was started by a guy that he no longer affiliates with them, and then it became something else. Onion says, can you unban me on your main channel? I don't think anybody's banned on that channel. I think that the autofilter goes nuts, and if people get some sort of, the same reason, like, they used to call for a YouTuber a P-score, it's called something different. I realized that with the new channel, whatever the new version of the P-score is, it's good, but on Decoy Voice, whatever that P-score is, it's bad. So, yeah. Do you listen to Sargon of Akkad? No, I don't really. No, it's not that guy. It's the other person. Yeah, 50% of your comments are instantly banned. I mean, that means you're not banned, because banned means you wouldn't show up at all. You not being able to be seen by people is pretty much how it is. Yeah, the notification thing doesn't work. It's sad to say is you have to go on... How do I do this? Guess you have to subscribe, and then it's notifications all. Personalized just means that how do I say it? Personalized just means that Google gets to decide when you get notifications. All means, oh yeah, every single time something does, you'll get notifications on. So if you want to subscribe to Decaf Decoy and see all of the notifications for when I go live and stuff, make sure you subscribe. Notifications on. Same thing with Decoy Voice. If you want to see that stuff, you have to see it. Yeah, the censorship of bots on YouTube are very quick and they tally everything. It's sad that censorship of bots is bad. You'd think that the Google AI at this point in time would be better at detecting that if someone comments something like Decoy Voice, like within seconds of a video going live, if someone says, Decoy Voice, you know, you're very inspiring and you're thorough and it always makes me smile. My profile picture is an image of a big butt or cleavage. Here's some random emojis. You'd think that the AI would be able to detect that and start banning those accounts from the get-go, not somebody that says something that may be offensive to somebody. I don't know about you, but I get, like, I mean, I see a lot of racist comments still come through my feed and I see them, but they can't detect the bots. Whatever. What's up, maybe Sunshine? Glad to see you over here. Yeah, Google putting their money into making bots. No, the one thing I would say is the bots for Google is actually bad for them because they survive on ad dollars, and the more videos that have bot views and bot comments, the less return on investment advertisers assume to get when they buy ads. Because if there's 100 human viewers watching my video and maybe 10% of you guys buy the product or click the link or something, they think, oh, they get a, you know, it's 10% click-through rate on the ads. That's great. But if all of a sudden you have 100 human viewers and 100 bot viewers, then they think, oh, it's only 5% people click through. It's messing up the algorithm, so that you'd think that Google would want to get rid of the bots, but it almost seems like they're more concerned on getting rid of dissenting voices as opposed to bots. It's sad. Yeah, you think you can detect bots based on the account's watch time? You'd think you could detect bots based on the inhuman reaction speed. Like, I wish I could show you. Maybe we can actually look at it right now. If you look at Decoy Voice and you had this video, it went up 20 hours ago. Let's see. How do I do this? Sort by newest. No, I couldn't go to oldest. But it's if you went to oldest, right when the video went up, like within seconds, there'd be a whole bunch of bot comments, and it's like, you kind of know the structure, woman's name, letters, numbers, letters. Like, that's how every single one of their accounts is. It's kind of annoying. So, yeah, this is so true. What's worse, bots or ads? I'd say bots, because ads at least allow me to be on the platform and give me more free time to do videos. Like, I don't know if anybody's been around for longer than 2 years at this point in time, but when I was working my regular job and this, my video production was probably like about half as long and like half as effort. I'd oftentimes be more tired than I am now. So ads are a necessary evil, in my opinion. Yeah. If it doesn't say first, it's fake, pretty much. Bots are way worse than ads, yeah. Glad to see you guys here on the live stream. Media has no reason to freak out. No, it doesn't. Same way bot accounts on Reddit work. No, I think Reddit is the prime example of dead internet theory, where you're rarely talking to people. Like, if you're a real person and you have sentient thoughts and you push back against the mainstream narrative, then they ban you. But if you're just a bot saying all the pre-approved things they say in an echo chamber, then you're allowed to be on the platform. Very sad. So I'm glad to see people in the Salty Army still here. You guys are like the first people that really supported the channel, so I appreciate it. Reddit is dead. It's very sad. You used to go on Reddit to say like, oh, I'm having jaw pain. How did you guys figure out the jaw pain? They say, hey, look, there's an exercise you can do where you look in a mirror and you open your jaw slowly with your tongue on your roof of your mouth, and then you close it slowly, and if you do it like 5 times, your jaw stops clicking. And this is a real thing that happened with me on Reddit, where you find an old thread and it's like, oh, this is a, like an old trick to do, and it's sad, but that has since been gone. Yeah, except r/asmongold, except r/JRE experience or something. There's a Joe Rogan subreddit. It does nothing like Joe Rogan 1, the regular subreddit. It always tries to get you to think he's an idiot. I forgot what else there was. There was another subreddit that 99% of the posts on there were trying to say, hey, I'm a fan of Joe Rogan. I'm a fan of Asmongold. When I go on Reddit, all I hear is all the reasons Joe Rogan's wrong. All the reasons he's an idiot. Oh my God, he's such a bad guy. And you realize it's just Reddit trying to program you into not liking the person that you objectively like in a vacuum. But if you go on Reddit and hear all the bots and hear all the propaganda with all the censorship, then you realize you don't like them. Did you know that this is a bad thing that you enjoy? So, Asmongold, they don't control. JRE Experiencer, let's see, what is it? r/JRE, what is it? Not r/Joe Rogan, there's another one. Yep. Right here, top post on Joe Rogan is, when did you stop listening to JRE and why? That's what it is. There's powerful, yeah, powerful JRE? What is it? Somebody knows here. I don't know what it is. It's another subreddit that talks about Joe Rogan's podcast, and that's the only one that is actual genuine people. So let's actually just get into the first topic right now, because we're talking about the mass, not riots, but protests outside of ICE detention facility. And for people that aren't aware, if you just watch the mainstream media, and this is obviously mainstream media, but this is local news, so it's a little bit more prone to being accurate, but they talk about Nashville's ABC affiliates. They're running bad coverage of it. But if you look at it, here's the ICE operation. Here's who they're deporting.
During this month-long operation with Tennessee Highway Patrol, ICE claimed about half of those people had criminal convictions or charges.
They claimed, yeah, because they did. And here's the thing, is a lot of people don't understand is ICE isn't going after somebody's grandmother that's quietly sitting in a room just collecting, what do you call it, funds from her children that are paying for everything. They're going after people with criminal convictions, and they say there'll be collateral damage. You can either self-deport yourself, go open the CBP One app that you already had to come in here to get to claim your asylum. You can take that self-deport, and I think they'll even give them $1,000 now. I don't like it, but that's what's happening. The idea is, if they have to go find you, they go to find you at Home Depot, they go find you at the supermarket, they find you in school, they find you at your workplace. If they find you and you're amongst other people that are here legally, if they do not have criminal convictions and they find you and they know that you need to be deported, they're taking all your buddies as well. So you self-deport and save all your friends, or you wait for us to find you and we take everybody that we find. That's what's happening over here. But they say, yeah, no names or charges for the majority of arrests. Yeah, because they don't answer to you guys, ABC News.
We cannot verify that because ICE has refused to identify most of the people it apprehended.
They don't need to.
ICE identified only 5 of the 196 people it claims the operation targeted people who threatened public safety or national security without producing documentation, ICE claims.
Yeah, without producing document, it doesn't. Wait. They're so upset that a person that didn't produce documentation to be here, that we're not producing documentation to send them away, even though they have it because they're going after them. They know who they are. Suddenly, following everything by the books is their top priority. It's all double standards.
The 5 included an alleged killer, a convicted rapist, and 2 drug convicts. Immigrants' rights groups claim Hispanic people were racially profiled.
News Tuesday,
racially profiled. Okay.
Immigrants' fears are that they could be rounded up next, and it's impacting businesses in Nashville. Caitlin.
Many of those arrests happened while people were coming to or from work. Some immigrants are choosing not to drive, and some aren't going out at all.
And it's crazy you see in some of these places where they have it's like supermarkets in an area, or a restaurant has 0 employees now, or a supermarket that used to be bustling on a weekend now has nobody there at all. And you think, okay, the numbers are this many million, or Biden let in this many hundreds of thousands. It's like, no, we're beginning to think that it's double, maybe 5 times, possibly 10 times the official numbers of people here that shouldn't be, because some of these communities were like 99% employed by them. Why are they allowed to work here? I don't know. Or why are they the entire population of people that shop at these grocery stores? It's seeming to be a larger issue than we thought. And now they're saying, oh my God, they're afraid to travel. It's like, well, if they're committing a crime and they're given the option to not only self-deport, get some money while they're self-deporting, but then be put on the front of the line to reapply to come back to the country if there are somebody that we genuinely want to be allowed here. Interesting, but let's go ahead.
Our office name is All Smiles Nashville. It's not legal Nashville. It's not illegal Nashville. My concern for all patients is just, how can I take care of you?
Dr. Ton Nguyen owns All Smiles Nashville.
Notice, they're running this fluff piece right here to try to humanize something, saying, oh my God, it's just people trying to get health care. Well, if they don't have legal work authorization to the point where they can't get a regular job. Like some of these people come here, they get work authorization, they can pay taxes and everything. So if they don't have a way to get money, and I don't know how Nashville or Tennessee operates compared to California, but a lot of this we're discovering is they're getting these health benefits because the taxpayer, like I'm paying for their health benefits. So they're trying to say this is, oh my God, feel bad for them. But I'd venture to guess a majority of Americans don't want this to occur.
Nashville on Nolensville Pike. He says last week's immigration roundups caused a 33% spike in cancellations.
Patients were canceling left and right, rightfully so, of course. We have a patient who is in the middle of treatment, and I mean, they're in some temporary crowns. And
I wonder who's paying for all that. Voice of the People with the Super Chat says, why did Biden do it? Declining birth rates, ending the economy, have the receipts for it. Now, we're going to talk about a certain theory that is starting to be true, and then also the idea that it probably wasn't Biden because of his diagnosis. And we're going to talk more about it more. So thank you for that, Voice of the People.
his first question was like, hey, doc, I mean, what are you going to do if I get deported? And it's just, these are things that dental school doesn't really teach you.
He worries that...
Yeah, because dental school shouldn't be teaching you how to operate on people that are breaking the law to be here. They should be about producing dental care. this bewilders me that they're trying to say, oh my God, think of the poor people that got here illegally, that committed a crime, and now are being held responsible for that crime.
Panic could drive patients to avoid critical care or turn to unlicensed clinics.
Patients either putting off care.
How many Americans can afford care? How many? The thing that they talk about is when you artificially say, let's give them government dollars to pay for these things. You have subsidies, they get free health care, whatever it may be. It doesn't, it's not all smiles and saying, oh my, smiles and sunshine saying, now everybody can afford healthcare. No, it artificially raises the price of healthcare because he can only see maybe, what is it? I don't even have a good rough estimation. Estimization. God damn it, I can't pronounce that word. Estimization. Good God. Estimation. There it is. I don't even have a rough estimation. Possibly 12 patients a day, right? If all of a sudden everybody, me, paying out of pocket, or somebody that is here illegally that now gets free healthcare, if all of a sudden, if you can only see 12 people a day, what happens when it's not just the 12 people that can afford it want to go see that dentist? It's now the 112 people that can get it because the government subsidizes it. All of a sudden, those prices go up because supply and demand, and we can't force this guy to work 7 days a week, 8 or 12 hours a day. The prices are going to go up, and that's why nobody can afford this. So he's saying, oh my God, like they need these things, they need these things. It's like, yeah, in a fantasy world where we can have AI bots doing all your dental care, I would be saddened to hear people that are here illegally can't get dental care. But no, that's not how the world works, where you have someone that's getting paid top dollar to do these operations, and now there's plenty of veterans, homeless people, just Americans in general that don't get dental care, and he's starting to worry about, hey, well, what about the people that cut the line? The people that aren't like Decoy Voice that got here in a legal fashion? What about those people?
Letting huge cavities turn into infections, or seeking care at underground and like clandestine clinics.
And
so he's worried about the competition. Like he's worried about the places that don't have to jump through the hoops. Like this is all just nonsense to me. But yes, you see this. They're trying to humanize it. They're trying to say, oh my God, think of the poor people that are not taking advantage. Think of the criminals that are here that are not able to be a customer of his service, driving up his how expensive his rates are. So now you're seeing places like this. Like this is insane to me, where you have faith ministers in New Jersey show up to the ICE, the second entrance. Oh, this is the second entrance to the ICE detention facility over in Delaney Hall in New Jersey. This is from Freedom News TV, Scooter Castro. They do really great work. I don't know if she's the only journalist, but yeah, they really do. They do great work. And again, wait, oops. And again, notice the ages of all these people. So they're here. We're going to have 5 people block this entrance. Okay, well, you can't really hear them there, but you'll hear more of this when they actually had a lot of people blocking the entrance. I think this is the first entrance. Yeah, because your song and your human barrier is going to change what our government does. Insane. Playing their drum. It's literally like just theater kids. This looks like theater kids to me, where they grew up in a place where they could put on a play, they can make signs, they can do paper mache, they can do all these things to make, we're going to save the rainforest, we're going to stop global warming. They have all these good intentions, having no idea that you're all able-bodied individuals. How many people could each one of these, I don't want to say marry like 90 Day Fiancé scenario where they can make citizens, but how many people could they actually help at the border that are living in poverty get in here legally? Sponsor them. They seem like they're faith leaders. Don't they have large buildings that they can start to house people? Don't they have lots of donations that they can give them food? Like, there's a lot of things they could do that aren't performative, but here we are.
We have to be here. I'm here because what we are seeing here at this facility and across our country is against what I understand as godly and right. I'm here because my universalist faith calls me to love the hell out of this world. And what we are seeing in this world is hell. Perhaps you know the phrase from 1 Timothy, God did not give us a spirit of fear. God gave us a spirit of strength, a spirit of love. God gave us a spirit of just action. We are here to bring that kind of spirit back to Newark. We are here because there is a spirit of fear that is affecting our nation, spirit of fear that is being brought down among us. We are here.
They're doing nothing. They're doing nothing. Oh my God, this is godly. We should stop the, like, do they not know about the crimes that some of these people have committed? Like, remember in the front of the White House, and that video on Decoy Voice that none of you guys saw because it got oddly suppressed. But the amount of crimes they committed towards kids, which, not going to do a rant on that, but I mean, I guess it kind of is in line. But the crimes they committed towards kids, the crimes that they had with the trafficking, the crimes they committed like on just American citizens, the murders, the attacks on women, like all these things that happen. They're sitting here saying, lock arms, defend them, because we know very little about what's happening in there. Just we think this is the right thing. It's sickening. Thank you. The heck? Why is it taking so long? Whatever. Thank you, M4 Sherman, for the super chat saying, I love how whenever you see this type of people doing all these protests, most of them are over the age of 35. Hell, some of them are just boomers, just effing hippies again, and the younger gens don't that stuff anymore. It's crazy because the younger generation, Gen Z, is breaking conservative in insane numbers. Like, I have nephews and nieces that are like Gen Z, and I think even one of them is Gen Alpha. But they are very against wokeness and very against everything that's happening in Hollywood and in video games and even in schools where, you know, it's going back to like the 90s where you have the high school bully where they're there like picking on anybody that's a little antisocial, a little bit different, and they're back to that again because you have some of the weird kids that are like, oh, I'm a dog and I'm a cat. I'm going to wear ears and a tail to school every day, and I demand you have a litter box in my school because this is California's classes. But there's the idea that it's like the new generation doesn't align with these values right here. This is the old Gen X, the boomers, the older millennials, where they broke free from the conservative, like the World War II, Vietnam War veterans of our parents, and now they're the uncool group now. Oh, aligning yourself with Joe Biden and Pfizer and all these multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical agencies and Mark Zuckerberg and just the old school vote blue no matter who crowds. That's no longer cool now, and you're starting to see it more and more because you see this over here. This has got to be nuts. This is somebody. Savannah Hernandez saying, liberal white woman flashing love signs and blowing kisses to illegal immigrants being bussed into the ICE detention facility. These are the facility where murderers, Rs, MS-13 gang members, and terror people are held. A lot of these people have committed crimes towards kids, and she's so wrapped up in the narrative that Maryland man, innocent person, they're better than Americans. I love you. I'm blowing kisses towards you. Singing songs to them. She has no idea what's in there. Just the narrative that Trump is bad, Orange Man bad. If he's doing it, these people must be innocent. This is just sheer insanity to me. They don't live in reality. She's bowing to them, yes. I don't... Do they understand what that is? Like... I can't imagine me going to Nigeria, trafficking people, attacking kids, and then if I was getting sent to like their maximum security prison in Nigeria, some old African woman was blowing kisses like, oh my God, Decoy Voice, you came here. You committed all these crimes and atrocities towards our people, but I love you. Like, the amount of... God, why? How did we get here? I literally think she's doing the right thing. They're applauding this. If you saw this, somebody doing this, you would think they're regarded. Yes, very regarded indeed. And finally, they're being arrested.
I'm not touching it.
I honor New Jersey? I don't get that.
Yo, not away, not away, not away. Ice out of New Jersey.
This blue-haired lady on the ground fighting them. Oh, ice out of New Jersey. Thank you. This blue-haired woman really thinks that she can fight these Newark coppers. I don't think it's like they're watching too many Marvel movies where they think they can, like, you know, female empowerment, they can fight them. I just literally think that they think that the police are going to use kid gloves on them. We're helping humanity and waving love signs. We're a peaceful protest, so we're not going to be literally thrown in handcuffs, thrown in the back of that van, and sent into the same facility that all these people are being detained at right now. She didn't do. They were literally just blocking the entrance to a detention facility. Like this is like a prison. Blocking the entrance. I'm sure they told them several times, please disperse or you'll be detained. And they're crying, she did nothing. Oh, thank you, M4 Sherman, saying, I'm a part of Gen Z. Wow, thanks for that. And I was one of the quiet kids in high school, just a normal quiet kid who would watch YouTube during class and not one of those new quiet kids. These quiet kids are the attention seekers that everybody knows and hates so much. So thank you for that super huge super chat. But also, yeah, I think this is truly the movement of the silent majority where you see all these crazy psycho people doing things on the internet and they go viral and you think, oh my God, this generation's going wild. Or TikTok, you know, lives a TikTok made a career of just reposting things that Gen Z was posting already on TikTok, thinking, oh my God, this generation's cooked. But it's because they're going viral. They're going viral because they are the few and far between. They're just the loudest. People seem to forget that the silent majority is more rational. We're normal. We're regular people. Like, if anybody knows me in real life, it's funny. Anybody that stumbles upon my channel on YouTube that knew me in real life, like, oh my God, Decoy, I haven't heard you speak this much ever in my life because I am a normally quiet person. I talk a lot with my circle of friends, but I mean, in large groups, I kind of just... I'm more like the cat. Like, I think I saw this girl online talking about, like, the relationship archetypes. Like, girls will date one of 3 types of men. There's, like, the Doberman. He's, like, the loud, quiet type. There's the Chihuahua. He's kind of, like, you know, more, like, riled up and barky. And then there's a black cat where he just kind of sits there by himself and doesn't give a fuck if you like him or not. And the more she talked about the black cat archetype, I was like, oh, that's who I am. And it's like, yeah, very quiet. You're very quiet. I'm very quiet in real life. But as the world got crazier, it forced us to speak up, and that's what's happening right now. So thank you for the super chat. Yeah, respect from a fellow quiet kid. I think we all are right now.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing? You're breaking the law. You're being arrested. Just the way they think they can't fathom why people that got here illegally, that are making crimes, horrendous crimes oftentimes, are being detained at this ICE detention facility. When you block them from being able to detain those people at that ICE detention facility, they're like, oh my God, what are you doing? Why are you arresting us? They're bewildered. Yeah, they're trying to drive their vehicles. It's official government action. She's emboldened and shouting in her face because she just doesn't think that she's going to be taken to the ground. She doesn't think that she's going to meet the concrete. She doesn't think that this woman will actually, this female copper is actually going to lift her and slam her to the ground as she maces, tases, or handcuffs her. Maybe a mixture of the 3, but this is the insanity you're dealing with. You cannot negotiate with somebody like this, totally detached from reality.
Get off of her! Guys, excuse me.
No X2Z gaming. I don't think you're the old guy here. I think I'm the old guy here.
Yo, pay attention. Look. Yo, miss. He's not getting his phone. No.
What is she? Is she literally trying to undo his handcuffs, or is she trying to take something off his person?
Guys, excuse me.
Let me get his phone.
Get my phone.
Oh, get my phone. Okay.
No. Yo, pay attention. Look. Yo, miss.
He's not getting his phone.
No.
Yeah, you can't take stuff off him. Yeah. You don't know what's on his phone. It could be him saying he was doing criminal activity. There could be substances folded up in the cell phone case. Like, you don't know what it is. Just no idea how arrests work. Okay, well, actually, okay, never mind. I'm not the old person here. I just think it's funny how you ask ChatGPT, you ask people peg me at like late 20s, early 30s, and it's like, no, I'm a little bit older than that, guys.
Back up.
I can't, hold on, excuse me. Sorry. I can record, but we just need y'all to back up.
Right here. Grab my Carlos phone. All right.
He got arrested. They took him away. But it's funny how it is the same blue-haired woman. The blue-haired woman trying to fight that female copper. She had the wildest things to say. Shout out to Savannah Hernandez.
People are inside that facility.
And they're MS-13 members, they're child traffickers,
and
they're drug traffickers.
Yeah, traffickers. Crimes often towards kids. These aren't they're human beings, not illegal aliens. Okay, maybe they're human beings, but they're still criminals. They've done a crime. They've done horrendous things. They're not innocent Maryland men, and yet they have no concept that just because Trump wants them gone doesn't mean they're little saints.
Traffickers. They're bringing drugs into this country.
They are still human beings.
So you don't care if they're the worst criminal in the world and they have raped and murdered children. They're okay and they're still human beings and they should be here?
I believe that they are human beings and that they deserve dignity just as...
My God. I thought it was a scenario where they're talking over each other and she couldn't hear what Savannah had to say about them, saying, oh, they've done things towards kids. No, she heard it loud and clear and was like, I don't care. If they're migrants, they deserve dignity. I don't care what they've done to people. My God.
As everybody else.
You think child rapists deserve dignity?
Absolutely, I do.
This is a democracy, and we're here, the people who are here, we're here to stand up for our democracy.
What do you say to the people who say that Donald Trump was democratically elected to mass deport the illegal aliens in this country?
There are laws in this country. Due process is one of those laws.
Due process wasn't used on the way in, can't be used on the way out. There's way too many of them. Sorry.
So I was reading that 75% of the people in this vicinity have either committed a crime, have pending criminal charges, and they did get that due process, and they are criminals.
They keep on saying that the Maryland man, Kilmore, didn't get due process. He did. Absolutely did on multiple occasions, and yet they keep on repeating the lies. So you have these old boomers like this that don't pay attention to things beyond what the mainstream media tells them, and they look like idiots.
What are your thoughts on that?
I would guess that that's a lie because there's not even, we don't even know who's in there.
You don't know who's in there. You know who does know who's in there? The officials that put them there. Nonsense.
So do you think it's American citizens that are being rounded up and thrown in here? Or what is the thought process?
How would we know?
I think a lot of times these people don't even speak English and they're not from the United States of America and they came into the country illegally.
I want to know where you're from, where this station is from, because the kind of questions you're asking me are very...
So the people she can't see inside the tinted windows, love them. They've been convicted of crimes. They're wanted. We've been trying to arrest them. Yes. And she's like, you know what? You look awfully brown to be here. What are you doing? Oh, that perfectly encapsulates everything that's here.
Very offensive.
Well, you're offended by my question, but a lot of Americans are offended by the fact that illegal immigrants broke into our country and have been murdering people.
I'm finished.
So I think that a lot of people want to know why you guys are defending criminal aliens that have committed crimes in this country.
Yes. Yeah, nothing. They're all sweet angels. But you might not be one because you're too brown. I'm done. I don't want to talk. I don't have this conversation anymore.
I think you need to check your facts.
Who should we be fact-checking with?
Well, do you have names?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They have.
Where are those names?
I can pull them up for you right now. Would you like to see them? We can go through all of the... because
Savannah reminds me of Charlie Kirk. They talk to people that are activists. Very, very deeply entrenched in what they say. Oh my God, it's like, you don't have facts, you don't have this. And as soon as Charlie Kirk, off the top of his head, starts prattling off numbers and everything, or as soon as Savannah Hernandez has actual facts or names, they don't want to hear it. I'm sorry. I have to take a brief moment. I'm expecting a package I need to sign for. So one brief moment, I think that's them right now. Never mind, false alarm. That was just spam. I get so much spam, guys. Like, I get so much spam when I actually need to get a call from someone that is not in my phone book. I start taking calls from idiots. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, back to this. Terrible.
There's convicted child rapists, there's drug traffickers, there's known members of MS-13 in these areas.
I swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States to support and defend, especially the idea of due process protections. I will stand by that.
Okay.
I was going to say something about his veteran status, but you know what? Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, there's this. I was going to say something about his veteran status, but I don't know. You know what? I'm just not going to say it.
And so for the illegal aliens who are found to be in this country illegally and found to have committed crimes, should they be deported?
The idea of who...
Whoa. That's exactly what's happening here. So this guy is allegedly a captain in the army. Okay, you know what? Because I would go down a different path. Let's just go ahead and say this guy's a captain in the army in this particular uniform. Okay. He's a captain in the army. This is the uniform he chose to wear. So he's saying, I'm here to, due process. And she says, what if they got due process? What if they already were convicted of being a criminal? Let's take it from there.
Who is illegal?
And you have...
Wait, what is illegal? I really want to know what happened right there. Why did he cut it off? Because it was just saying, hey, what if they've been convicted of, attacking kids, trafficking women? What about that? Define illegal. Oh, blue hair is back.
Deportations, they are not just targeting people who have committed crimes. They are saying that people are criminals simply for crossing the border.
But that is a crime. That's a federal crime.
I personally do not believe that is a crime. The vast majority of people who are coming to America are coming here for economic opportunity.
But that's not asylum.
I disagree. Asylum, I'm a political scientist.
I'm sorry. If you say I'm a scientist of any kind... No. Here's the thing. If you say I'm a scientist with blue hair, automatically I throw out your opinion. But also saying I'm a political something makes me throw it out as well. I'm a political scientist is like saying I'm DJ scientist. Like it's like the prefix of DJ. I throw it out the window. Thank you, General Kale, saying I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Yes. And now I think he's just looping everything into domestic. Oh my God, you came here, so you belong here. Never mind the fact that you may have been trafficking kids alongside you. A lot of these kids come in here unaccompanied or accompanied by people that aren't family members or come over here greatly subdued by substances. It's a very, very terrifying thing. Lots of missing kids right now. But you know what? Once you come over here, by all means, you're fine. Yeah, Dr. Dre is an MD, political scientist. I call it DJ scientist. It means nothing.
And the truth is that most words that we take for granted are actually quite up for debate.
We have had cases on major news.
Down with the king. What?
Of people that were specifically court ordered not to be deported.
Like who?
No. That's not what it... The Supreme Court ruled that you couldn't do these deportations, not court-ordered. You couldn't send away this guy that is a citizen of another country, that is a gang member that has now been designated as a terror group. They're getting it wrong all the time, but yet he has a sign saying, down with the king, that looks like they were made by my 10-year-old niece. Yeah, no.
I honestly don't have the name on the tip of my tongue.
I think you're talking about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who is a known MS-13 member. Do you think somebody like that should be allowed to stay in the United States?
He has an order to lawfully be in the United States. pursuant to that order, he should be in the United States.
But he's not a citizen of this country.
He has a court order allowing him to stay in this country.
He didn't have a court order allowing him to stay in this country.
Yeah, the court order.
And also, the court order stated that he couldn't be he couldn't be extradited to El Salvador because of fear of MS-13. But that's been eradicated, and El Salvador is now a safe nation.
Hetton knows nothing about what he's saying, but enough. He knows enough about it to waste his whatever day was this. May 15th. What was May 15th? Can't do math. Was May 15th a Friday? His Thursday. His Thursday afternoon. Enough about it to waste his Thursday afternoon where he probably should be at work, but he's probably a boomer, so it doesn't work. Knows enough about it to waste his Thursday afternoon to be there, but not enough about it to actually cite real things that have occurred.
You perhaps are correct. I would have to check the reference.
Oh my god, maybe now since I've already been here, I'll have to figure out and fact check if I should be here. Yeah, what is it? I saw, wait, where was that comment I saw? Where do these people get their information? MSNBC, CNN, that just fearmonger, don't tell them the full story, get them to waste their days because they are the useful idiots, the brown shirts of their political organization.
On that.
I pity you, I truly do, because you don't care for the dignity of every human being.
I don't care. Oh, I know what she's about to say.
Care about the dignity of child rapists, you're right, or drug traffickers or MS-13 members who have made my country unsafe.
And I'm sorry that you have had a really hard life.
I care about protecting children.
I'm sure they had. She just said they harm kids, and she says they had a hard life. Good God, you can't fix this. She's a scientist, guys. She's DJ Science, and she doesn't care if you've been harming all these people. They've had a hard life.
And you're talking about due process, but to be quite honest with you, these people have been given due process, and they've been found to be criminal illegal aliens, and so I do think that they should be deported.
That's very sad to me. You're an exploiter.
So you're here to defend
exploiter.
is what you're saying.
I'm here to defend every single human being.
Except for the victims of their crimes. Liberalism in a nutshell.
Everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves dignity.
Thank you for your time.
Everybody does. Even you. Even you.
Thank you.
Savannah is an afterthought to all these criminals. Even you. Afterthought.
Even you.
I'm not a child rapist or an MS-13 member, so I would hope so.
No, you're just a capitalist exploiter who likes to exploit people's pain.
Capital. These are just hot phrases. It's just a mad libs of woke phrases that they're against. I'm sure she would even say things about not getting the vaccine as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
You.
Yikes. Yikes. But yes. Blue hair. It's crazy. It is interesting that this was a largely religious group being arrested. Lady being attacked. I thought I had the. Yeah, you see them. Okay, so they're a religious group.
They're terrorizing our community. That's what you should know.
So they're there, and they're there to say refugees welcome. They're there to support them. But then, a different type of migrant, one's from South Africa, they're not welcome.
We can't be ourselves in the Episcopal Church and take the step of resettling white Afrikaners from South Africa.
If they're white Afrikaners, no. Black Afrikaners, yes.
Our church has a long commitment to racial justice and reconciliation, and we have historic ties with the Anglican Church of South Africa. Desmond Tutu is a part of, been a partner in this work for us. So we're just not able to take this step.
We're not able to take them in. This, by all means, criminals, people that with convictions, bring them in, but no. When they happen to be of a different skin color, we cannot allow them in, because if you guys weren't aware, first group of South African refugees fleeing persecution arrived in the U.S., all wanting to be American. See them? And here's the big thing, the difference you see with this, is one, they're vetted. Came in through legal ways. They weren't sneaking in. They weren't using the CBP1 app to say, I'm seeking asylum, or I'm in MS-13, and this other gang is going to kill me, so now I need to be allowed in here. We are all military-age males. And I think that's a huge problem because there was a lot of Asians coming in, presumably Chinese, military-age males, military cuts, military kits coming in from China, presumably coming to the country, but all males, all ages 18 to 35. This is families. That was something else, but because of their race, they're now more picky about this. Families coming in. Families that love America, that don't say, hey, we need to make our country, this America, more like the country we just fled, and we need to bring in that law from that religion. No, it's different. Because I honestly don't even know if I can play this. But you see this, the rallies they have from the place they're fleeing. So they say, this religion says we need to let in leave the criminals be here. But also this religion says we can't accommodate the ones of this color, because what they're fleeing is this, and I gotta play this very carefully. Shoot! Okay, no. It went right from the bat. He's talking about shoot them, end these people, the former. And it's one thing if you have these leaders, right? They're up there, okay. But no, if you look at the other angle, this is the rally they had. This is how many people that are supporting this movement of ending these people that happen to own farmland. I want to play some of the audio, but I can't. Can't. But yes, they're waving their finger around to a large group of people that all dressed in the same outfit, saying we need to end these people. Shoot to end the white farmer. Yes, this is wild that they have this. And then this leader from South Africa says, we have not called for them for now.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, we have not called
for the ending of them.
White people. At least for now.
At least for now. And then Elon Musk saying for now because he is an African American. A lot of people forget this. But yes, terrifying. Terrifying that you have them saying, we haven't called for the ending of these people. All these people. We haven't called for the ending of them. For now. We may have rallies where we talk about doing it. We may have insane instances where they've done it, and I can't even talk or describe it because I'm a small channel and that'll like instant ban from orbit. But yes, they say they're going to do it. They do it, and they've even openly said, hey, we're not talking about it yet. And then now they're saying, hey, when you leave, you're a coward.
In many, many ways, and none of us ever having to want to run away to another country for fictional reasons.
Fictional reasons? It's been happening. It's real. What is
that we are being persecuted. We are united in diversity, and none of us should ever feel that they have lost courage, that they've now become cowards and want to run.
It's almost like they want them to stay so they can do this. Don't seek asylum from us coming after you, because we haven't said we'll do it yet, even though it's already been happening. I guess just not in a official capacity. But if you run away from it, it's bad. And I think this is sickening in itself. Obviously, I think these people are racist. They want to go after them. But then I think it's more sickening to see the liberal media almost cover for the atrocities that are occurring, because this is all people who are seeking asylum. Wouldn't they want to go to an ICE facility and stop them even if they commit crimes from being deported? But no, they're actually bending over backwards to make this not okay. To just say, okay, only certain migrants can come here.
Virtually halted refugee admission in America.
No. We still take in immigrants. You can still apply for asylum. You can still come in the legal way. You just can no longer line up at in Eagle Pass. You can no longer line up in San Diego County with the CBP One app and just walk in, seek asylum, get your gift card, and get flown to wherever you want in the country, and have to sleep in the airports and sleep in the snow, or sleep in the airports in Boston, sleep outdoors in the snow out in New York City, or get a 5-star hotel accommodations paid for by the U.S. government to the Pakistani government. Insane stuff. That can no longer happen. But one small facet of it, because they happen to be white, is different.
For people fleeing war and famine in places like Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Backwards.
Yeah, you can still seek asylum, just not the The traditional way, not the wide open borders Biden tried to create.
Rick, Mark, and Eddie. Rick Stengel.
The worst panel of people ever, but okay.
Yes, it's so deeply and morally wrong-headed and repulsive. These are the descendants of the people who created the most diabolical system of white supremacy in human history, apartheid.
Aren't you the descendant of something that happened arguably worse in America? But go on.
They're not directly responsible for it,
No, they
but
aren't.
it was a system that actually moved black people off of the arable land. So they inherited the land that the black people had to give up. It was called forced removal. It was something called a Bantustan policy, where they moved black people out of the cities and farmlands into these remote areas with non-arable land. I mean, it was just one of the most worst processes ever. But what has happened in this strange, bizarre world we're living in is that the Afrikaners have become the darling of these right-wing, white supremacist movements around the world.
What? They're building it up in their minds. I have seen no openly racist Nazi, KKK, whites. I haven't seen none of them saying, let's go. Oh, wait, now I think my package is here. Sorry, let me go ahead and grab this real quick. Hold on. Yep. One moment. And we are back. Sorry about that. But yes, I've been waiting on a package for a long time. I have to sign for it. Super annoying. But we got it now. No more pauses. But yeah, back to this. In saying that they're almost filling in the blanks because they are themselves supremacists and they're against stuff. So they're trying to project it on other people. But then you see this, obviously, The View, super racist, super sexist. Here they are trying to say, because they happen to be white, it's a bad thing.
I want to talk about why this administration is giving refugee status to South African white Afrikaners as opposed to Afghans.
They're clapping. We have lots of migrants here. Did they not see the evacuation of the Kabul airport? I don't think there was a single American that was saying, hey, those guys that were helping our military against the Taliban, they are at great risk remaining in that country. Let's help some of them get out now that we're leaving and just kind of leaving them high and dry. Don't know too many Americans who were upset about that. It wasn't a race thing. It was an unvetted, wide open border thing. God, guys, it's not body pillows. It's not foam mattresses. It's a new pair of glasses, and it's an expensive pair of glasses. So I had to sign for it. But yeah.
And Ukrainians and people of color. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about.
They're clapping at ignorance. It's sad because they have nothing. They know nothing. But here, you had MSNBC saying that. Now you have CNN just openly admitting it.
Okay. So if you think about the history of South Africa, it being under an apartheid system, where I think it is 80% of the population that are black Africans only own 4% of the land. That is because they were put in shanty towns and moved into areas where they had no rights. And so 30 plus years ago, they went through the apartheid system ended, and they reformed their constitution under the great leader of Nelson Mandela, and that allowed for a racial reconciliation, one that this country has yet to do. But South Africa did it, and they reformed their constitution, and part of that is that the people who are native to that land deserve their rightful land back. That is not what the Afrikaners actually want to have happen, which are the white Africans.
She's trying to put the idea that they don't want to be murdered because they get murdered. They're getting like horrendous things are happening to the farmers over there. They're saying shoot them, end them, and they're doing horrendous things to them. Like gangs are going in there and doing horrendous things to them. Now she's saying, oh, it's because of land back. It's okay because years ago, before these people were alive, something bad happened. I admit it's bad. We shouldn't be doing. Nobody should be just taking land from other people, but you shouldn't be just conveniently looking the other way when they commit atrocities towards them. They seek refuge over here. You guys are always big on seeking asylum and saving people, but just because they happen to be a certain ethnicity and religion you don't agree with or want to eliminate for some reason, now it's a bad thing? Asylum is a bad thing? Refuge is a bad thing?
And so who are not originally from Africa, who colonized South Africa also. And so that is what they are saying is discrimination. Now, if the Constitution in South Africa is discriminatory, they have their checks and balances in that land, just like we do. And that is for them to, so if the Afrikaners don't actually like the land, they can leave that country.
They're leaving.
They can actually even go to where their native land is, which is probably Germany.
Are you against them coming here?
Holland, probably. Holland.
Are you against them coming here?
I'm against the hypocrisy of this administration.
No, that's not the question. What about all the people from the Middle East, Africa, South America that are coming here? Why if they're trying to if those people are trying to escape political persecution, violence, danger, economic issues, they can come to America. But if the white Afrikaners want to escape those same very things, they cannot come to America. They have to, they're Germany's problem, they're Holland's problem. Like, why is she assuming all these things? This is insane.
The question is, are you against them coming here?
If there was actually a genocide happening, like
there is
in other places in Sudan, in the Congo, I'm not opposed for Congolese and for the Sudanese to come to Africa, just like I'm not opposed to Venezuelans and South Americans coming to America if they are fleeing and looking for asylum. What I am
just
against,
these 50 people you're against.
I am against, it's not about being against them. What I am against is that they are being given special treatment when there is not a genocide happening in South Africa, and they.
We just watched a couple clips of them doing exactly that, but go on, because you just conveniently omit the things that don't help push your narrative.
They just don't like the law of the land.
Well,
so you know what?
They just don't like the law. They don't like it when their families are in front of each other. They don't like when they're killed. Like, this is nuts. This is how you have people that are willing to go storm an ICE facility because they are so uninformed about what's really happening in the world that they really think that they're on the right side.
Okay, but there's a very high crime rate in South Africa. They have a crime problem. I suspect that part of what's going on here is that there is a very high-profile white South African named Elon Musk who is very close to President Trump and is probably making this a very high-profile.
They're trying to make it about Elon Musk and how they don't like him. They care nothing. They care nothing about these families that you just saved. Very likely they would have been murdered on their farm. But because Elon Musk is bad, Orange Man bad, Spaceman bad, sacrifice them. Ignore all the things that we've been saying about refuge and asylum and everybody deserves respect. If you happen to be on the wrong side or look the wrong way, by all means, have at them.
Profile issue and talking to Trump about it. You know, it's been, I mean, Elon Musk has tweeted about it. He's, I think, called the president of South Africa about it. He's been talking about this for a long time. Look, here's the problem. There's Afghanis who helped us.
Crazy that's happening right now. And then I think this is more of the same clip, so we're not going to play all that. But yes, this is where the certain theory is happening right here, where the cat's out of the bag. Why is it okay that some immigrants are okay, but other immigrants that look different are not okay? And here they are openly admitting it. Where they on some occasions they've said that they've admitted it. I believe Chuck Schumer said it, but this is the first time I've seen her say it. This is nuts.
As I posted the other day, this very blatant effort to basically send a message, most exemplified by Vance and Musk and others, that, you know, what we really need from you women are more children.
Population collapse is an existential threat. Bad for the economy, bad for humanity. It will end us. Very true. And yet they keep on talking about immigration will fix it, but here we go.
And what that really means is you should go back to doing what you were born to do, which is to produce more children.
What's wrong with that?
They are talking about, you know, cash benefits for the more children you have. This has been tried, by the way, in other countries, and it has not worked. or medals if you have 6 children. While they
She's just dismissing other countries' failures as if they say all the times they tried to have climate change and all that stuff, that all failed. Communism failed. Socialism failed. Let's just go ahead and try it again. But encouraging people to have more kids, it failed one time, so never do it again. Nonsense.
They're contemplating cutting Medicaid while they have no interest in paid family leave or funding quality child care. They're cutting Head Start. I mean, you go down the list of all the programs that support child rearing and the care of children and create, some safety net for women who are in the workforce, the formal workforce, as well as, raising children.
If you give them money, all that fixes that. If you can have the traditional nuclear family, no more income tax for any family that has I think it's 4 children, something they've danced out there. If you give them money, they no longer need the Head Start program. They no longer need the child care they no longer need the safety net because you've given them money. That fixes all that. So she's just going to omit what would work and says, it's bad, guys, because I have the solution. It's conveniently what I've been pushing this entire time anyway.
Children. So this is another performance about concerns they allegedly have for family life. But if you had read the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025.
Oh, Project 2025. It's so spooky. It's so scary. God damn it.
Despite Trump saying he knew nothing about it, if you had read it, it's all in there. It's all in there. Return to the family, the nuclear family, return to being a Christian.
It's kind of funny how, didn't they run their campaign, Kamala's campaign, on joy? And that was the same exact thing. I think Nazi Germany, like Hitler, they were like the party of joy. Like, that was a big portion of it. I'm not trying to say Kamala's party is the Nazi party or fascist or whatever it is, but you can have overlapping ideals and have nothing to do with each other. But here they are saying, Project 2025, it's so scary. They're going to put women back in the kitchen or something. It's like they're campaigning on what didn't work before. People didn't buy onto it. They wanted cheaper eggs. They wanted no new wars. They wanted Donald Trump. They didn't believe your Project 2025 bullshit. And here they are saying, Project 2025, it's back.
Nation, return to, producing a lot of children, which is sort of odd because the people who produce the most children in our country are immigrants and they want to deport them. So none of this adds up.
They want Americans. Apparently, they don't want certain people coming here, but other ones. They think that they are going to be, lots of words in the middle, the replacement. It's almost like they're exactly fulfilling what we were talking about, but you get banned if you say it.
But, one of the reasons why our economy did
racist.
so much better than comparable advanced economies across the world is because we actually had a replenishment, because we had a lot of immigrants, legally and undocumented, who had a, larger than normal, by American standards, family. So this is just another one of their, make America great again by returning to the lifestyles and the economic arrangements of not just the 1950s. I mean, let's keep going.
So it's okay to bring in people that don't have American values. They don't want don't make America like the country that all these people are risking life and limb to come to. There's a reason they all want to come to America. There's a reason there's not too many Americans that flee here to go to the Middle East. Not really a racist thing, it's just a reality thing. But they think that if we bring in large amounts of families from those places to enforce their S-law in America, it's going to be a good thing. This just let the cat out of the bag.
Back as far as we can, and see what happens. So
yeah, it's all nonsense. I can't believe that they were able to put this out there for so long, and just the average person didn't. Yeah, you got it right. You know what law I'm talking about. It's crazy because liberalism is so huge on bringing in people from a certain place, changing their state flag to be more aligned with that, electing mayors and mayors and politicians and city council members and congresswomen actually from this certain place to enforce a certain type of law, knowing that they are fundamentally incompatible with Western liberal values. They will be the end of themselves through self-ending empathy. It has a different word, but I won't say it over here. Basically turn into communism and Marxism They even openly admit it. It's sad. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's really bad everything they're doing over there. But okay, one thing I want to cover right now, and I think I forget who they like cheap labor. Yeah, they even openly admitted who's gonna pick the crops, and the one congressperson said who's gonna pick the crops if we deport all these people, and then the other congresswoman talked about us black people are done on being on the farm or something. Like they thought we now have a new underclass. It's disgusting what they say, but they oftentimes just self-snitch on themselves. It's sad. Yeah, I think I owe somebody an apology, and we got to cover this. I forgot who had the super chat earlier, but yes. Big news as of, they say updated today, but it was yesterday. Biden diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer, his office says. Doesn't sound like he's long for this earth, and I myself have been very mean. I used to have an old series before the channel became concise, lighthearted commentary of like Bidenese to English. It was like Duolingo. Like whatever Biden was saying is nonsense. I'm gonna make it in English because it was sad. It said, "This is sad now." When he fell asleep over in Hawaii, when the one day he was like vastly different appearing in the same day. This was nuts. During the day he was looking like that, at night was looking like I used to make fun of Biden constantly for saying, "Sure, no, pressure." They said it was a stutter. No, I have a stutter. What Biden had was apparently cancer, because they say, you know, he was likely fighting cancer when he was struggling to go upstairs. We were calling him like President Roomba. He was likely fighting cancer when he was having in 2022 having a town hall meeting.
Well, and the ones that didn't vote for your bills but run on them.
And just randomly,
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Gets up and goes.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was going in hard on him. I was making fun of him.
It's very
oh, what the heck is he doing? Like this old senile goat. Like what's happening to him? But now knowing that he was fighting cancer, prostate cancer, it's like to his bones now. I feel bad. Like he's done a lot of terrible things, but I do feel bad that it's just he was a dying man. He was a dying man, and you have somebody like Donald Trump saying, "Hey, look, you know." Not necessarily apologizing to him, but saying, "Hey, we're saddened to hear about his recent diagnosis. We extend our warmest and best wishes to Jill and the family. We wish Joe a fast and successful recovery." I don't think he's coming back. But then you see the comments over here saying, "Your fake sympathy is disgusting. The 300,000 missing kids are praying for this monster. No one's giving him sympathy. Cancer's terrible. Doesn't erase his past actions." But I don't think it's Joe Biden's past actions. Everything Joe Biden did in his last presidency was the opposite of what he did as a senator. As a senator, he's an old racist white dude, like calling people predators. Doesn't want his kids to be raised in a racial jungle amongst people with different pigment than him. The Joe Biden of his terms as Senate, and even slightly when he was inside as the vice president, was like a MAGA conservative at this point in time. I don't blame Biden for doing all these terrible things in office. I blame everybody around him that was touting around like a corpse. Thank you, Ghana, saying for the super chat, saying that would explain my butt's been wiped. Yeah, when he said that, talking to the press. I blame everybody around him. Like I would always say, they're trotting him out there to be looking like an idiot because nobody in his family loves him enough to say, "We're willing to give up power. Let's go ahead and put you in a retirement home, old man." Because this was disgusting. This was like recently on The View.
President, since you left office, there have been a number of books that have come out, deeply sourced from Democratic sources, that claim in your final year there was a dramatic decline in your cognitive abilities. In the final year of your presidency, what is your response to these allegations, or are these sources wrong?
They are wrong. There's nothing to sustain that. Number one.
Not even
Number
alive.
two, you know, think of what we're left with. We're left with a circumstance where we had an insurrection when I started.
Old senile man ridden with cancer in every part of his body.
We had a circumstance where
changes
we
the
were in a
context.
position that we, the pandemic, because of the incompetence of the last outfit, end up over 1 million people dying. 1 million people dying. And we're also in a situation.
During your administration, Trump's administration was much better at handling it than yours, but by all means.
Situation where we found ourselves unable to deal with a lot of just basic issues, and which I won't go into in interest of time.
Because you can't.
And so we went to work, and we got it done. And you know, one of the things that well, I'm
well,
talking
and
too long.
Alyssa, you know, one of the things I think is that the people who wrote those books were not in the White House with us.
This was Jill's
and
administration.
They didn't see how hard Joe worked every single day. I mean, he'd get up, he'd put in a full day, and then at night I'd be in bed.
It's sad because if you know anything about this marriage, I believe she was one of the babysitters to his kids, and now she's the babysitter to him because he's incapable of taking care of himself. Truly tragic that she's willing to, like, trot him out there so she can get more screen time. Because if you read, I believe it was a book or an article, she talked about how she loves being in the presidential motorcade because everybody waiting in traffic, because time stands still for you. And she made it all about herself. She had little photo shoots where she's in the White House and she's like, you know, reading stuff with her glasses and being all executive. It's like, yeah, because she wanted to be in power. She trotted him out because she doesn't love him enough to let him not even retire with dignity. He was a terrible politician, but I mean, just the idea that he needs to rest. And now people are saying, hey, he's diagnosed with rapid stage 4 prostate cancer that metastasized in his bones, almost inferring that it had to do with something. I don't think that he got the same thing that everybody else got, but I have nothing to prove that. But honestly, Tim Pool saying, hey, look, he has the Gleason score 9, grade group 5, metastasis to the bone, whatever. Tim Pool saying it's advanced. If he had the best medical care and screenings for 4 years, they'd had found it, and it means they had likely had it since before dropping out. He likely had, other doctors are saying he likely had it when he was running for president in 2020. They knew he was collapsing. He was literally ending. He was like, his brain was going to mush in front of us all, trying to gaslight us into believing it wasn't happening. But here they are saying, hey, you guys lied about it before. You know, what do you have to say for yourselves?
Given the new allegations in Jake Tapper's book, do you have any concerns with President Biden's age or decline, and was there a cover-up by the Democratic Party?
This is before the cancer release. I think they all knew beforehand.
We're not looking backward. We're going to continue to look forward. Certainly.
We're not looking backward. We're looking forward. I think that's the official Democrats' line now. Don't listen to my past lies. Don't think about my past lies. I'm here to talk about some new lies. That's what this is right here.
I think President Biden made the decision not to seek re-election. It's a decision that
didn't make the decision. It was the auto pen that made the decision, but we're going to get more into that now.
That House Democrats strongly supported.
Thank you. Given the new
yeah, so forward lies. But then I think the cancer diagnosis comes out right after her report comes out, because remember, they tried to hide this for a long time. He was cooked. We're not going to listen to this whole entire thing, but he was cooked. This is what we saw on the debate stage. This is what everybody behind the scenes saw every single day. And for the first time, the American people were about to find out about it. But to distract you from it, they released this.
So during this time, we were living in Chambers Road, and there were documents related to the Penn Biden Center or the Biden or the cancer booster shot or your book. Where did you keep papers that related to those things that you were actively working on?
Well, I don't know. This is what, 2017, 18, that area?
Yes, sir.
Remember, in this time frame,
has no idea when this happened. Doesn't know his name.
Deployed or is dying.
Remember, he didn't know that I think he legitimately thought his son died in combat for a period of time. It was sad.
And so it was. And by the way, there were still a lot of people at the time when I got out of the Senate that were encouraging me to run in this period, except the president.
He has no idea where it is. We've gotten the point. But the idea that now is the auto pen That was whoever was running the auto pen was who was controlling the White House, where you see this from all his signatures from the Biden family pardon, the Dr. Fauci blanket pardon, General, I always call him Miley, but it's Millie, I know. General Miley pardon, all these pardons that he put out wasn't him because the pen did it. It's all the same exact signature. Now, what I wasn't aware is Tim Pool talked about in one video how this was okay. The auto pen has been used by a lot of presidents, even Donald Trump. You're out of office, you're telling somebody, hey, back in DC, he's over in, like, you know, in Europe. He wants him to sign something. Use the auto pen, sign this. Now, this is bad, but apparently only the president, they can't use the auto pen to sign these pardons. And he also wasn't there. We have proof of it because his brain had melted already. But now they're saying only the president can nominate somebody to become a Supreme Court justice. And you have the only Supreme Court justice that seems to be objectively an idiot. Where you have everybody voted on the deportations. I think it's the deportations of 330,000 Venezuelan migrants. They can be deported. The only person that voted against it was Ketanji Brown Jackson. That was one of Joe Biden's nominations, and it also was signed by the auto pen. He was not there. So can this be reversed? Because they say, no way she's actually this dumb, but she is. So apparently they said, U.S. Attorney Stephanie Rose said, and this is something that I harp on a lot, where you have someone that you put them in jail, and you know the recidivism rate's going to be high. They're probably going to commit crimes again. Like the guy that was beating up all the Teslas at the bar, gets sentenced to 10 years, gets let out under one. Gets sentenced to 5 years in prison, gets let out within 10 months, goes to Hawaii, is attacking a woman over there already. They were probably going to recommit, but at least you could have saved society for the next 4 years by making them serve the rest of their sentence. So, U.S. Attorney Rose objected, saying it does protect the safety of the public when they're not present to recidivate, meaning if they're in prison, they cannot reoffend. Ketanji Brown Jackson countered, saying, but the amount of time in jail doesn't affect that because there's no difference. If we keep them in jail for an extra 36 months or whatever, they're going to recidivate at the same rate as if they were released early. I don't see how the public protection is being affected one way or another in that scenario. Spoken like a true person that lives in a gated community that is constantly surrounded by security, that does not live in the hood. And then Rose replies, because during the 3 years they're in prison, they are not committing new crimes. That's the difference. Adding, the public had safety concerns over cutting prison terms for so many felons at once. And I'll tell you this right now, Prop 47 and then 57 made Los Angeles County the most dangerous place a dangerous place where I was living because of those simple propositions saying, hey, we're going to cut non-violent offenders away from prison because they're nonviolent, but then inside the text of those bills or propositions were things like, oh, if you detonate a device at a hospital, nonviolent. If you are trafficking kids, nonviolent. Like a lot of random things. But just the idea that she literally is as stupid. Keeping them in jail for 36 months doesn't keep us safer because they were going to commit crimes anyway. Not counting the 36 months that society was safer. Literally the dumbest person here. And yet they may be able to reverse her nomination in the Supreme Court. I don't know exactly what that entails, but just this goes deeper than just him having cancer. And the one thing I wanted to point out is somebody that a lot of us, enjoy his work, Dilbert author, Scott Adams has now talked about he has the same exact cancer that Joe Biden has. And it's just the other side where, a lot of people don't want to feel bad for Biden because he's a bad guy. He's a racist dude. They don't want to feel bad for him having cancer, but I don't want to wish ill upon our political rivals because that's just not the kind of person I want to be. But then you see the other side of it.
Some of you have already guessed, so this won't surprise you at all. But I have the same cancer that Joe Biden has. So I also have prostate cancer that has also spread to my bones. But I've had it longer than he's had it. Well, longer than he's admitted having it. So my life expectancy is maybe the summer. I'd expect to.
This is the summer.
I expect to be checking out from this domain sometime this summer. Now,
It's sad because he's like really come to terms with it. I guess it's not sad, but when you hear him talk about death, I mean, let's hear him talk about it first, because this puts life in perspective, in my opinion.
Some of you, this is hitting you kind of hard because you're hearing it for the first time.
Yes.
Weirdly, since it's old news to me, I've just sort of processed it, so it just sort of is what it is. And I have to say that, everybody has to die, as far as I know. And it's kind of civilized that you know about how long you have, so you can put your affairs together and make sure you've said your goodbyes and done all the things you need to do.
I have a hard time accepting mortality. And I remember there was it was a black comedian. He was on a talk show. Let me know in chat if you know who I'm talking about. It wasn't Arsenio Hall. It was like in that era. But he talked about how when his father was on his deathbed and he was scared, he was sad, but his father was saying, you know what? I've lived a good long life. My kids are good. You guys are healthy. You're successful. I have no regrets. I'm ready for it. Like if I could do it all again, I'd do it the same way. So I'm just totally not Patrice O'Neal. Not Tupac, a black comedian on a talk show, said, his father had just accepted it, saying, you know what, I'm good, and I'm tired. I'm tired and I'm ready to go. And it's sad to say, but it's like, yeah, I think he's saying this is a dignified way to go. Not Bernie Mac. It was a skinny guy. He kind of looked like Arsenio Hall, but I don't think he was Arsenio Hall. But just, it's crazy how, you have this old man wisdom where they say, you could have an undignified way, like a very, not Richard Pryor, undignified way of going out, and it could be very violent and very scary, or it can be almost where he just has time to get his affairs in order and kind of go be at peace with it. Very, very not Montel.
So if you had to pick a way to die, this one's really painful.
Yeah,
like really, really painful.
Sad.
But it's also kind of good that it gives you enough time while your brain is still working to wrap things up. You might wonder,
wrap things up, and then not Martin, not Mike Epps. It's an older guy.
Why it took me so long to tell you, and I think I owe you an answer to that. Number one, it would change my life because everybody would start treating me like the cancer guy.
Yeah,
you can't really there's no second way that goes. Once you go public, you're just the dying cancer guy. And I didn't want you to have to think about it. And I didn't want to have to think about it. You should know, well, if you didn't already know, I am unusually mentally tough. So while this could be much worse, for some people, I suppose, I'm handling it quite well. The pain is tough. I mean, really tough. But the mental part, I got that under control. And I can see in the comments that some of you are having a tough time with it. But remember, nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, it's sad, but he's very mentally tough if he's wrapped it around his mind around, this is what do you call it? Scott Adams, he drew Dilbert. He also had made some comments that have made him a controversial figure as of late. Yeah. His cancer. Now it's not a Patrice, not either one of the Eddies. I forget who it is. It's maybe it was Arsenio Hall and I couldn't find the clip, but it's like, yeah, it's one of the it was a comedian talking about accepting death, and it's crazy to think about how he has a good concept of, he knows if he released his cancer diagnosis, everything about him would be different, the same way the Democrats likely knew about Biden's cancer situation and just kind of kept it on the wraps so they can continue to control the auto pen and have a murky shadow government controlling everything. Yeah. Wasn't Norm Macdonald, guys. Yeah. Yeah, cherish life while you can, for sure. And it's very fleeting, and it just puts everything in perspective. It's good that he has he has a good, he's accepted it. And we all hope that we can too. So we've been covering a lot of serious, tough subjects, but let's go ahead and cover something that I personally find hilarious. And this is over in UCLA. They're still protesting the public university's connection with the war overseas. And this girl thinks if she stops eating, some nobody, some idiot that goes to college, that got into UCLA, which is a hard feat to do. Someone that's in college thinks not eating will stop the war.
My name is Maya. I am a third-year Palestinian UCLA student, and today marks the first day of my indefinite hunger strike in protest of my university's direct involvement of my people's genocide.
I don't think UCLA is sending any missiles over there. They may have some business connections, but I'm sure Coca-Cola has those same connections. Her paying taxes has those same connections. Like, this is not going to stop the war whatsoever. And here she is, thinking this is going to be her big moment.
Hi, my name is Maya, and I'm on day 6 of my hunger strike. Although there has been no response.
Kudos. I've been currently fasting, just like, for 23 hours a day. It's difficult. She made it to day 6. Kudos to how strong her willpower is.
From UCLA about my hunger strike. I have been made aware that they know about the strike and they are monitoring it.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck about your strike. I'm sorry. They don't care what you're doing over there.
UCLA claims to care deeply about the health and safety of its students.
Health and safety of the students, just have a Klondike bar. Like, eat something. That's it. That's how you solve it. You solve it. UCLA doesn't stop the war. Like this.
It has failed to directly speak to me about my hunger strike.
Yeah, they don't
Many
care.
people do not know just how involved UCLA and other universities across the country are.
They're not. Okay, I'm not going to listen to all this stuff. They have billions in private equity. Oh, they have $12 billion in publicly traded companies. Them not being invested in them doesn't stop the war, guys. It doesn't. I'm sorry. Yeah, they have contracts with that country. Do you think that your hunger strike is going to stop our government being involved in that? Main character syndrome. Oh my god, yes, they're part of it.
Someone who has tagged the university, spammed them in their comments.
Oh, you're spamming them in their comments? Please, oh, we're so close. We're so close to stopping the war. Skip a couple more meals, and then the divestment from that's going to stop the war. I'm sorry. You're never going to stop the military-industrial complex, not even if you were in the government itself. But please continue to spam them and tag them. Please like and subscribe, guys. We're going to stop the war.
And tag news sites. Because of you, UCLA knows about the hunger strikes, and we're starting to get traction in the news.
We're going to get traction in the news. I love how in the background of this entire video, there's just all these students quietly living their lives. Just like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get an education. I don't want to be like Decoy Voice, having crappy jobs, being out there like, was I in my 30s pushing shopping carts? I think at one point in time, I was probably in my 30s collecting shopping carts from a parking lot. Like, kudos to everybody that's working hard jobs. I've done it too, but it's like, yes, you go to UCLA, good grades, good grades, you go to UCLA, pay all this money to get into UCLA, and work really hard, and yet she's over here doing this at the same time. But yes, you guys are saying she was eating burgers at night? No, she wasn't. She had to be taken away.
She's going to the hospital. She just passed out. UCLA, please hear her. She's literally being hospitalized because of you.
Because of you. This is like that toddler politics. Mom, if you don't buy me that toy, I'm going to hold my breath. And if I pass out, it is your fault for not buying me that toy. Good God. I'm almost afraid to keep on playing this video because I don't know what other images they're going to use of her. But yeah, they said on day 9 of her hunger strike, I think that this is bad. She passes out. She's blaming UCLA because she did not eat food. This is what happens when UCLA ignores their students. This is on you, UCLA. No, this is on idiots admitting UCLA. If anything UCLA needs to do right now is they need to reanalyze who they're admitting into their college. Because I asked Grok, how much does UCLA tuition cost for 4 years at a state student? Because she said that she was Palestinian. So it said all this 4-year estimate, annual cost $76,000, $300,000, more than $250,000 for you to be hospitalized because you think you could stop the war by not eating, passing out, and now blaming them. Because you know what, guys? We tagged them enough. We spam them in their comments. We got reblogged. The news knows about us. The war's still happening, and it's your fault, UCLA. Good God, maybe I'm just bitter because I don't get those types of opportunities, so it's sad. I mean, we have a lot of other topics to do, but I'm not on Salty Cracker's level. He's a bit beyond me. It's sad. I mean, I had a lot of this stuff to do, but we've been going for over an hour and a half now, so I have a short topic I can cover because I have a lot of tabs open. It is kind of bad. Heavy topics, short topics, but you know what? Let me go ahead and cover 10-hour stream. No, I do not have the energy to be as hyperactive as Salty Cracker when he live streams, and I don't have the stamina to be like Asmongold when he does his live streams, where it's just like, I mean, at any given time. Can we go on Twitch right now? Any given time, Asmongold is streaming, and he has high energy.
Was that?
He's talking a lot.
Like, it was just each game was separate. Yeah, Helldivers 2 did a great job catering to casual players.
Okay,
yeah,
maybe
and
okay,
it was just...
How long has he been going right now? Because, yeah, he's been going for 3.5 hours, so maybe the energy's going down. But from whenever I see him online, high energy, lots of interaction. It's crazy to see how well he does for this, like, you know, almost 7 days a week. Kudos to him. Yeah, base stakes for years. Appreciate that. Thank you. And most you can do is 2 hours or more. Then you have to stand up and go inside. I mean, me standing up has been a little bit, you know, giving me more energy, but yeah. He never had a high energy. Okay. High words per minute. He's saying a lot of stuff. Doesn't have a lot of filler in there. He's not stuttering. So I think just kudos to him. And also the breath control. I feel like when I'm having a conversation and you're doing the thing where you breathe real quick between sentences so you can keep on going, getting a point out. And it's something that I feel like rappers do. Asmongold does it a lot. And honestly, I saw Brett Cooper live, and she does it live on stage off the top of her head. It's amazing. So it's like, you know, it's hard to compete. Yeah, you say, just be, Mama Pello says, just be you. There's already those other guys. I just wish I could stream as much as them. I'm in my own lane, they're in their lane. I understand it, but I mean, it's cool. But yeah, no, we got to call out the hypocrisy of Chicago, where basically their mayor is openly a blacks are better person, and he does it to applause. This is nuts in Chicago.
Some detractors that will push back on me and say, you know, the only thing that the mayor talks about is the hiring of black people. No, what I'm saying is when you hire our people, we always look out for everybody else.
I'm not denying that I do this thing. I'm saying it's a good thing. Good God.
We are the most generous people on the planet. I don't know too many cultures that have play cousins. That's how generous we are. We just make somebody a family member, right?
I know what play cousins are. It doesn't change anything. You guys turn on each other all the time. Play cousins are forgotten. It's just something that's said. The idea that you have a tradition of saying, oh yeah, that's my cousin when we're just close friends. When I was a kid, I had an uncle that was just my father's coworker, but it's like, yeah, he was my cousin. Like his kids were my cousins. We had play cousins, didn't make us more generous than anybody else, but the idea is saying, we're the most generous people. The only thing we don't do is hire other races. Like, good God, how is he saying these things and getting applause? And he's just sitting there nodding and smiling. This is nuts.
This is how we are. And so, business and economic neighborhood development, the deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a black woman.
Why is this a win?
Infrastructure deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief operations officer is a black man.
This is how we are.
Budget director is a black woman.
Judging people on their skin color.
Senior advisor is a black man.
And here's the thing, is all those people in those positions he could have read off might be the best in their field. They might be the best comptroller, the best deputy ops mayor, all these things. They could be great, but the simple fact that you say we only hire this specific ethnicity because we are the most generous is saying I don't care about their qualifications, and it's actually harming them. Because what if I'm like the best, if I'm get hired to become the deputy ops over there. I get hired to become the comptroller. And they say, but we only hired you because you're black, because you're the most giving. That takes away from all of my actual accomplishments, my abilities, my education, all that stuff goes out the window because you are openly a blacks are better person doing it to applause, and yet they don't see the problem. And here's the problem is also, whenever somebody gets in that position and they have any criticism, people are going to use this statement right here to go after them.
And I'm laying that out because when you ask, how do we ensure that our people get a chance to grow their business?
We only can grow our business is if we hire you based on color, not based on merit, not based by the content of your character. It is just because skin color. It is sad. It is sad because I believe this is a federal crime. You can't do this, and yet he's openly saying it to applause.
At the airport, particularly in the cargo. And do you know there's never been a prime construction company that has led growth for an airport, particularly in cargo, anywhere in the United States of America? But BOA Construction received the prime construction contract at O'Hare under my administration. It's the first black prime construction worker company to have a prime contract anywhere in the United States of America.
Yep. This could be just incidental and they're the first company, that'd be great for them. But the idea that you did it not the idea that it was just they're the best equipped, they're the best price, they're just the most skilled construction company. It's because of the race. That was it.
And that's critical, not just for BOA Construction, but for the lives that he's going to transform because he's hiring them. But it's also critical for other major construction companies or mid-sized construction companies that are black owned to know that there is a mayor who sees them and is going to work hard to ensure that whether you're developing homes, whether you are, looking to help take advantage of the opportunities through aviation, whether it's entrepreneurship to provide a service, that there are resources available for you in the city of Chicago. And one thing that I know for sure that I have to do over these next 2 years, every single dime that our people have been robbed of, I want to make sure that that is returned threefold, because I believe in something.
This is reparations then. This isn't promoting people based on merit. It's reparations. And maybe Sunshine says, and you wonder why there's division amongst people with these racist leaders, and it's true.
Called press down, running over. That is what we have to make sure that happens within our communities.
Yeah. And it's just it's put there to divide us. It's only going to cause people to say either like the jealousy saying, well, how come my Asian known company didn't get that contract? And he's sitting there saying, well, it's because money was stolen from our society, from our culture, from our people. So now we got to give it back to them by making sure that Decoy Voice can get his company on the forefront because he is too much of an Asian person and not enough of this person. Craziness. What about the Irish? Yeah, exactly. What about all the people that were taking advantage? Irish need not apply was a huge thing that happened in early America. I don't see anything about that. What about all the people, all the Japanese put in internment camps for what the Japanese were doing, the Japanese government was doing overseas? I don't see much about that, but here we are saying, let's just continue to divide us. Because I don't really see too many Japanese harping on the crimes that occurred before. I don't see too many of the descendants of indentured servants doing the same thing, and yet they keep on harping on it, not to bring us together, not to try to apologize for things, but to just keep us divided. It is sad. Yeah, Decoy's too white adjacent. I think it's tragic that that's where we are right now. The soul must flow. I mean, I feel like we should just kind of calm things down, try to be more of a chill channel. Maybe if I put some headphones on and became very NPR like, it'd be better. I'm coming in. Yeah. Your kid's half North Korean? What? Yeah, so, okay. Before we sign off real quick, let's just say, if you're not following me over on Instagram, it's at DecoyBTS. I got a lot of stuff. I'm starting to post more on the stories. I mean, like I said before, I went to go see Brett Cooper live. If she's touring anywhere near you, go see her live. It is phenomenal to see how skilled she is at public speaking. It's almost a little bit discouraging to see Brett Cooper live and know why she had so quickly surpassed me in terms of subscribership. I understand it's because she had the Daily Wire backing and all, like, her production was much more polished and everything, but just her show on the internet is the exact same way she is in person, and she can go for, I believe it was like an hour and 45 minutes off the top of her head, not using clips, not using editing, and just on the mic, just saying, what about this story? What about this story? I got to talk about this story, and kind of even and interacted with the audience. And just, yeah, it was very, very impressive. So yeah, if she's near your area, you have to see her live. Problematic says, don't be fooled by the pics. Decoy's actually 6'4". I was gonna mention it, but it's like, you have me with Tim Pool. Tim Pool is listed at like 5'10". Brett Cooper, I think, is like listed at 5'3". And I remember when I was seeing these two pictures together, 5'3", 5'10". Somebody's lying. Like, I even showed this to my buddy, and he was like, why don't you just go post this? And I was like, yeah, but then if I start saying stuff like this, the rumor's gonna get out that Decoy Voice and Tim Pool are 5'3". Thank you. I sound 6'4". I am 6'4". It's not that me and Tim Pool are 5'3" like Brett Cooper. It's that Brett Cooper and Tim Pool are 6'5" like Decoy Voice. So yeah, there's that. And then also, if you haven't already, subscribed to Decaf Decoy, and then tell your friends about Decoy Voice. I mean, this channel, I want to get to 1 million subscribers. I got some plans once I hit 1 million subscribers, but I really help it. The content of my character is 6'4" and also 290 pounds. I am a mega athlete. Just don't be. Actually, what is Shohei Ohtani? That's what I identify as. Whatever. Shohei Ohtani height. Wait. Shit. Ohtani height. Wait. In my heart, I am. My content of my character is 6'4", 209 pounds. It is hilarious to see him out there where he just looks like a regular Japanese man, but amongst other people, I think, what's his name? Yoshinobu Namamoto is like 5'10", and he is just an abnormally large baby. He has a baby face. He is like a giant amongst men. So yes, I am that. Yeah, so let's see. The bat is real size. Yes, this is not a mini bat I got from the Dodger game. This is actually an official bat. I'm just a ginormous person. That's what it is. Tim Skates being shorter is a plus in that line of work. People were accusing Tim Pool of being very short, and I was like, nah, he's not a small guy. I have a friend, the Casual Engineer. I met him like at a YouTube event. He's like a 6'5" mega giant. And because all his videos he does, like, it's from this top angle, because that's just the way he shoots, everybody accuses him of being like Tom Cruise, like 5'8", but it's like, no, he's a ginormous person. Maybe I just need to like do this every single video. Like, yep, this is me. I am like Shohei Ohtani. That's who I am. Start buying tiny props. I mean, I have a this is how we do it. No, he didn't take the beanie off. I even gave him a tinfoil beanie, hoping that he'd wear it sometime. But no, I think it's in the background of the show. I wonder if you could see it. I actually haven't watched much Timcast recently, except for that one thing. Let's see. Timcast IRL. Let's see. When was he been on screen? Does he have the let me fix this. Wait, oh no, Tim's not even on this episode. Where do I get him?
Are you kidding me?
No, it's cut off. It's cut off. My tinfoil beanie is like right up here. You just can't see it. I don't know if he's ever changed the camera angle, but no, my tinfoil beanie's right there. He didn't wear it. Tim Pool is 5'8". Only his Tinder profile hasn't been over 6 foot. I had a friend, Korean guy. He was 5'11", and in his online dating profiles, he put 5'11". I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Put 6 foot. Put 6'1". Put 6'2". Doesn't matter. Most of the girls we talk to aren't gonna notice you're not that. I'm like, that's the only place I condone lying about height when you're 5'11" and wearing shoes you're 6 feet anyway. Like, he just was honest to a fault. But saying you're 6 feet if you're 5'8", that's a damn lie. Yeah, if you're 5'11", you're 6 foot. I just remember one time I got robbed in what part of the city? It was in the Valley. I got robbed in the Valley. It's like part of LA County, but it's not like downtown LA. Got robbed in the Valley. And when I was taking a police report, the copper, he didn't take my ID. I don't think I had it on me. And he just took down my information. And I was like, okay, I gave it to him verbally. He showed it to me, and he had my height and weight at like 6'1" and like 180 or something. And I was like, yeah, that's about right. Let's just go with that, guys. If you believe it, I believe it. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, okay. So now we're just kind of rambling or whatever. Oh, wait. So Daniel James says, I've eaten one meal a day for over 25 years. Your virtual signaling hunger strike is absolutely ridiculous. All they do is performative BS. Yeah, I just tried it yesterday. The one meal a day, trying to trim down, get like, just shredding, because I kind of saw, I saw online something like Brad Pitt in Fight Club was 165. He looked ripped, and I was like, wait, so I just have to lose weight and I can look more ripped? So I'm trying that. I'll say the beginning of the because I always intermittent fast, skip breakfast, but the beginning of this, I've been only doing it for a day, has been rough. I've been hungry. I've been very hungry. A nice dinner. I saw Mikey Massamucci on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he talked about how he's like, he had a hard time cutting weight all the time, but now all he does is does jujitsu all day, and then for dinner he has like a whole pizza, a whole pasta, a whole like acai bowl, like has something like 7,000 calories in one sitting, but he feels great. So just don't eat garbage. I mean, that's my favorite thing though. Eating bad is just what I do. Like when I did certain advertisements for a certain grocery store service, you guys probably remember what that was. It was actually good for me. They gave me like all these, give me a salad, some stuff to make a burger, the buns, the meat, everything portioned correctly for what I would need to cook. I actually really enjoyed that, because otherwise, after a live stream at night when I used to be on Decoy Voice all the time, come like 6 p.m. or come 8 p.m., I'm going to Burger King to get a terrible burger. Oh, is that Dustin Harris says, guys, I'm 6'5", and it's not all peaches and cream. Cleavage view is nice, but clothes don't fit. I don't fit in cars. Everything is made in China. Extra tiny Asian kid hands. I can't press buttons. Yeah, no. In high school, one of my friends, he was 6'7". I think he even turned to be about 6'8" later on. But I had a Mitsubishi Eclipse. Love that car. Very small even for me. But I remember him being in it was like, there's no way. Like he had to have the chair all the way back and have his knees up and everything. It's like, yeah, everybody thinks being 6'7" or 6'8" is great, but he was like, girls don't even like it at that point in time. You're like monstrously tall. Like having size, I believe it was like size 16 shoes. You can't just go to the mall and go to Foot Locker and buy a pair of shoes. You got to open up a catalog back in that day and try to find someone that will make a shoe that large for you. And just everything isn't great. Can't go to the mall to get a pair of pants. Can't, what is it? Can't fit in most airplane seats. Like it's very big inconvenience. Unless you're a super athlete or you're a millionaire and you can buy all the stuff that will accommodate you, there's definitely a threshold to that. Yeah. Oh, so you're the short one at 6 foot. Why are we all talking about height now? Oh, we're all talking about height now because of the scandal of Decoy Voice and Tim Pool being 5'3" like Brett Cooper. But yeah, that's a good time to sign off. We went for what? Almost 2 hours. It's good. We'll try to have a schedule. Maybe it'll be like Monday live streams. We do that. And then we just chop up those live streams to be on as episodes throughout the week. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll hang out soon. But thanks for hanging out as long as you did. But for now, duck off.